Welcome to the June 19th City Council meeting and public hearing. Those wishing to speak during this public hearing should have already submitted a completed request to speak form at the information desk. At this time, I need to ask, do any councilors need to disclose any conflicts of interest or ex parte contacts? And so I will say that I have to disclose that I attended a May 2nd Strategic Planning Commission meeting. That has not impaired my impartiality in this case. Let's see. So before we proceed, I want to state that anyone testifying has the right to address and rebut the substance of the ex parte communication.
So, Mayor, if I can just ask you to briefly describe what occurred at that meeting that you attended so folks would have an understanding of what that ex parte contact was, and if they wanted to be able to rebut it, they could.
Perfect. So that meeting was the general description of the map of where this proposed transit station would be placed. So I heard the initial description of that.
Thank you.
Okay. Any concerns about that? Okay. All right. City Manager, would you introduce the topic, please?
Yes, thank you, Mayor. The purpose of this public hearing is to hear any comments on a site-specific text amendment to the River Road Santa Clara Urban Facilities Plan. This amendment was initiated by the Lane Transit District, and the purpose is to facilitate the development of a new transit station in Santa Clara. The site is located on River Road, south of Hunsaker Lane and north of Green Lane. Council action is scheduled for July 10th following the public hearing. And this evening we did receive written testimony from the Santa Clara Community Organization, which we'll hand out to you as part of this public hearing.
Okay. Testimony presented must be directed toward the approval criteria or other criteria that the speaker believes to apply to the decision. The applicable approval criteria are from Eugene Code Section 9.8424. The failure of anyone to raise an issue accompanied by statements or evidence sufficient to afford the City Council and parties an opportunity to respond will preclude appeal on that issue. The failure to raise constitutional or other issues relating to proposed conditions of approval with sufficient specificity to allow the Council to respond to the issue precludes an action for damages in circuit court. The request to speak forms have been separated into 3 groups, and speakers will be called in the following order: those in support of the proposed ordinance, those with a neutral position, and those opposed to the proposed ordinance. Please give your name and address when you come to the podium to speak. You will have 3 minutes to comment. The timer and lights on the podium indicate the time you have to speak. A yellow light will come on when you have 15 seconds to complete your comments. The red light indicates the end of the 3 minutes. I'll now open the public hearing with those in support of the proposed ordinance. So first up, we have Rick Satori, followed by Bree Nicolello.
Good evening, Mayor and Councilors. My name is Rick Satori, a principal with Shermer Satori Group. Our address is 375 West 4th Avenue in the wonderful Witt neighborhood. I'm speaking tonight on behalf of the applicant, Lane Transit District. Briefly, we would like to thank staff for their assistance in processing this refinement plan amendment. A little bit of background that might be a little bit of repetition from what you may have read in the staff report, but we'll keep this very brief. So about a decade ago, a different property owner with a different program was looking at the property. There was anxiety over what appear with that private for-profit commercial developer. The neighborhood, we worked with the neighborhood extensively, and they certainly wanted to avoid anything that might become auto-dominated. So there was a lot of discussion, some negotiation, a little bit of back and forth, and the decision that was made at that time was that there would be a prohibition on motor vehicle-related uses. That's highlighted in bold print on the top of page 2 of the AIS that you have tonight. But today, there's a new owner, a new development program, and that prohibition on motor vehicle-related uses a decade ago turns out to be sort of unintended consequences with the new owner and the new program now, nearly 10 years later. So the prior refinement plan amendment, again, said motor vehicle-related uses were prohibited. If you dive into the weeds of the Eugene Code, which I do for a living, I just have so much fun doing that. It's only 600 and some odd pages. But within the motor vehicle-related use category, this includes transit services, transit facilities, transit stations. And we said, oops. So if it weren't for this prohibition on transit, we wouldn't be here before you this evening. But fortunately, there's a really simple fix. It's thus the proposal before you to strategically amend the neighborhood refinement plan by adding 1/2 of one sentence. The proposal is to allow transit. In bold print near the bottom of page 2 of your AIS, you will find specifically what we're asking. But there really is no concern with that request because the general prohibition against motor vehicle related uses will still be there. It simply says, except for transit related facilities. So we've had extensive outreach. My 15 seconds are near an end. We've worked extensively with the Neighborhood Association, and you'll hear from them this evening. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Next is Bree Nicolello, followed by Edward McClellan.
Councilors, I think I'll skip my time. I think Rick said it better than I ever could, so thank you.
Edward McClellan, followed by Carl Ye.
Big plus.
Councilors, my name is Edward McClellan. I'm the Director of Public Affairs for Lane Transit District, speaking to you in an official capacity on behalf of LTD. Our place of business is 3500 East 17th Avenue, Springfield 97403, or any other bus stop that an LTD bus serves. I'm here to talk to you just a little bit about why LTD is interested in this project and why we're asking you to make this very, very, very minor change to this plan. LTD's commitment is really to serving our community and working with our neighbors to help them receive the transit service that they deserve and that they want. As we've talked with the neighbors in the Santa Clara area, we've heard from them that their neighborhood is growing, that safety is a concern on River Road, and that access to goods and services is very, very important to them. We've heard from them that the existing River Road community, or the River Road Transit Center, does not meet their existing needs, and as plans to change that that facility's entrance and exit with ODOT's projects on the Beltline will impact the service there even more so. We understood that there was a need for us to keep our eyes open for a potential relocation opportunity. When the site of the former Santa Clara School, which at one point was a Grange Hall back in the early 1900s, became available, we saw an opportunity that we really couldn't pass up. We understood that there was a minor challenge with the land use permissions. We also knew that we were buying more land than we needed. We only need about 2.5 of the 7 or so acres that are currently on the site. Our intention is to release those into the wild after we're done with them and allow for development on that site to happen within the confines of the existing neighborhood plan. We've been working closely with the neighborhood associations along River Road to help us guide us both in the development and placement of the station on the property itself. We've talked to them about what's important to them. We're working with them to find a way to incorporate a community farmers market on the site. Additionally, there's park and ride spaces that are an important part of this. There's electric vehicle charging. There's also secure bike parking. We also plan to make investments in the area infrastructure, improving the intersection at Beaver and Hunziker, adding an additional turn lane there to improve safety for vehicles that are coming to and from, as well as better connections inside of the property once we assume control of it, if we do in fact get permission. What we're asking for tonight is not permission to build anything or do anything on the site, but merely a clarification in the code that ensures that the transit use that we have heard from the neighborhood they want is in fact permissible on there. Just a sense of who we're serving in that area, there's 145 employers 3,700 residents and 184 units of affordable housing within a half mile of that area. This is the perfect place for a transit center, and we appreciate your support of this amendment. Thank you.
Thank you. Carl Ye, followed by Gerry Finnegan.
Councilors, thank you very much for the opportunity to speak before you. My name is Carl Ye. I live in Eugene, 3739 Keeler Avenue, Eugene, Oregon, in Ward number 4. And I'm actually one of the board members of Lane Transit District, as well as the chair of the Strategic Planning Committee, which is one of the LTD's committees. I do have written testimony I'd like to distribute. Thanks. Which I'd like to go ahead and read into the record. So, councilors, thank you very much for considering Lane Transit District's application for an amendment to the River Road Santa Clara Urban Facilities Plan. I'm speaking on behalf of the LTD Strategic Planning Committee, a 12-member advisory board to the LTD Board of Directors, comprised of community leaders, business representatives, and elected officials from LTD's urban partners. So, situated along River Road in the heart of one of Eugene's fastest growing neighborhoods, the Santa Clara Community Transit Center will be a key cog in LTD's regional transportation network. This site will be home to multiple transfer points for bus riders in North Eugene, offer electric vehicle charging, as Edward said, park and ride facilities, ample secure bike parking. Additionally, as the City of Eugene and LTD study the potential development of MX or enhanced transit along River Road, the new transit center will be a ready-made terminus or transfer point for LTD's riders. The proposed station will provide service for more than 3,700 residents, 145 employers, and 1,700 employees who will live and work within 1/2 mile of the site. From a strategic standpoint, the proposed location couldn't better align with LTD's long-term plans and the desires of the neighborhood to improve transit services in the Santa Clara area. Relocating LTD's Old River Road station to the new site will also help further the City of Eugene and LTD's mutual commitment to Vision Zero concepts. LTD's current River Road station at the intersection of Silver Lane and River Road is located at one of the city's highest crash intersections, averaging more than 25 collisions per year between 2002 and 2011. The new location has a lower incidence of crashes, and investment in the transit center will align well with the City of Eugene's safety investments at the nearby intersection of Hunsaker Lane and River Road. Furthermore, bike and pedestrian facilities will be installed at the station and access roads to the station, improving the safe access for transit users. So I want to thank you for considering the Strategic Planning Committee's input on this important matter. We take seriously our role in advising the LTD Board of Directors and have thought deeply about this topic and strongly believe that moving forward with this project will help LTD fulfill its responsibility to the community in a way that is consistent with local and regional plans. Thank you.
Thank you. Next up, Gerry Finnegan, and that is the last of the positive testimony.
Gerry Finnegan. I live at 1250 Irvington Drive in Santa Clara. I guess I'm in Ward 7, but I'm not really. All the people around me are in Ward 7. But I'm chair of the Santa Clara Community Organization, have been so for the last 15 years, I think. And you have been given a testimony already that we have prepared for you. And so I just thought I'd read into a record a letter of support that we sent to Lane Transit District on November 9th of 2015 in support of their application for a grant from Connect Oregon. It says, the Santa Clara Community Organization is very supportive of the application by Lane Transit District for a Connect Oregon grant for the Santa Clara Community Transit Center at the former Santa Clara School site. Our neighborhood organization, in cooperation with the City of Eugene, is in the process of creating an area plan to guide change over the next 20 years. We are looking closely at the relationship between development, transportation, and public transit, planning for a future that welcomes change while continuing to honor our heritage. The transit center site is located at the geographic and commercial center of our neighborhood. It's also located at what was a historical and social center of our neighborhood, the Santa Clara Elementary School site. When people arrive at that site, they need to know that they are in the heart of Santa Clara. We are encouraged to hear about the development opportunities and other benefits that will come with the relocating of LTD's transit station. We believe that this relocation will create a community space that is centered around frequent and reliable transit service and will provide opportunities for additional investments in affordable housing and locally owned businesses. Additionally, the relocation of the transit station will improve the traffic flow at the Beltline intersection, the most congested spot along River Road, and perhaps the city. We believe that the transit station relocation will be a catalyst to making this area a vibrant community hub where people will live, shop, and access transit. Redevelopment of this site provides an unparalleled opportunity for LTD to work with the Santa Clara Community Organization to create a centralized place large enough for community gatherings, for farmers markets where local farms can sell their goods, which acknowledges the historical importance of this site. These amenities are an integral part of our support of this application. And as a still living member of a person of the group that created the refinement plan you're talking about 30 years ago, I approve it too.
Thank you. And now the next group. Do we have folks who are neutral? One, okay. Thank you. The speaker is Stefan Schmidt.
Good day, everybody. My name is Stefan Schmidt, and I am very pleased to be here, as always. And as always, I'm in full support of additional transit for the people of Eugene.
Could you tell us where you live, please?
I live down in South Eugene, right by Sundance Natural Foods, Eugene's only vegetarian grocery store, which I encourage you all to shop at and support. Go local business. 2 Trumps up. Yeah. Moving on. Local transit is extremely important. Now, the problem with this plan is that, first off, we don't even have the West 11th EMX halfway constructed, and now we're already talking about another construction project, which is just going to suck up taxpayer money, and it's going to create more traffic. Lots of traffic. We've already got way too much traffic in this town. Half the time when I aim to go up West 11th, I had to just turn around and go back because there's too much traffic. So that impedes my ability to go spend money and support local business. So what's going to happen to all the local businesses on Santa Clara and River Road who need their customers to be able to get there that have their business impeded by these traffic projects, which, of course, go on way longer than necessary every single time? You can't even see hardly any progress from this EMX. The EMX, first off, should be slashed right out of this construction project. It's completely worthless. It's like paying $1 million for a pair of shoes just to go to the grocery store when you already own 30 other pairs of shoes. The EMX is absolute garbage. We could replace a single EMX bus with 10 regular buses, which run 10 times as often. And we could do it for much less construction than setting up these special little stops for the EMX. When I see that EMX bus line, I see 2 lanes that should be dedicated to safe bicycle transit for all the people of Eugene to use. Now, past that, security is an issue. I haven't heard anything, well, just a little bit, about security so far going into this new transit location. What's going to be done to make sure that the people that live in and around this area are properly safe? Every single week in this city, we have another young person who goes missing, is victimized, and possibly murdered by the homeless, the drug addicts, the rapists, and the child molesters that are enabled by the people who are supposed to be responsible in this city. And that's wrong. We had a 15-year-old kid pulled out of the river just this weekend who's been missing for a week. We had a 20-year-old girl go missing a couple weeks ago. Something has to be done to prevent this sort of thing from happening in the River Road community. Thank you.
Thank you. And now the category, no one has signed up to oppose. So is there a staff clarification response?
No, ma'am, and we're here to answer any questions you might have.
Okay. The applicant, let's see, I don't know, do I just read my way through this script? Okay, the applicant may now have their opportunity to provide final rebuttal. Here we go. Are there any questions by counselors? No questions. At this time, we would normally close the public hearing and the public record. Is there any counselor who wishes to hold the record open for written testimony or to continue the hearing to another time? No. Okay, the record hearing and the record are closed. Thank you. Okay, that was an adventure.